I could do without this rain today.
Oh, you and me both. That ain't.
The bad thing about the cloudiness is it makes the grass carp hit a lot later.
Well, we got time. We can wait them out, I guess.
They love the rain.
I'm getting
bluegill probably.
I'm getting a little tired of you catching all the fish and me just sitting here. Oh, that's a good one. Is it more fun to fish in the rain if you're catching fish? I wouldn't know.
Personally, I don't care for it much either way.
That's another good bluegill, though.
That's a good sized bluegill. That might be
the next biggest one, maybe second biggest one you've got. So that's a good one.
It's probably about the second
fat fish,
one.
isn't he? He really is a fat one.
And I wasn't watching it again like I should have been.
Boy, he's a good one, though. That is.
Right up there in the top. He didn't swallow it. It's right. Oh,
hey, you got it. Good deal. No harm done for him. You got him?
Yeah.
It looks like a big one.
Pretty good. Oh, it's a red ear. Big red ear.
Well, it is a nice one. Come over here by
Definite master angler right there.
There you got him, man.
Oh yeah, that's a real nice
one. Boy, that is a nice one.
That's a real nice one.
How big do you think he is?
He's at least 11. I've caught a few 11s. My son's got 11 and a half. And I never dreamed I'd catch a fish like that.
Boy, that is a beautiful fish.
That's a real nice
one. He's a nice one.
Yeah, see,
red ear patch.
That's how you tell the difference. And the bluegill, when he gets this big and is in the spawning mode, he won't have this mottled effect. He'll be jet black.
I see.
Be all black. Then after they spawn, they go back a little bit more to their other color. But bluegill this size will be very rare.
Boy, he's a nice one. That's something.
State record's 12 3/4. Let's see what this one is.
Okay.
Let's see. He's broken 11.
Well, you were right.
He's 11 and a half. Easy.
11 and a half, a little bit more, maybe.
He's a little over 11 and a half.
Boy, that's a nice fish.
I don't know that he'll make 11 3/4. That's pretty good size.
Not quite, but
11 and a half, right on it.
How much do you think a fish like that would weigh?
He's at least 1.5 pounds. We could
Is that
weigh.
right?
State record's 12 3/4, and it's 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Yeah, that
Boy,
fish.
That's a good
that
one.
fish is 1.25 inches under the state record.
Put him back and try him again another time, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be good. It looks like he's doing pretty good. There he goes. That was a nice fish. He's going to go down there and hide out in the crack in the rock, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Sure enough is. That's a good one.
It's taken me, well, it's been 2 years since my son caught one like that. It's 2 years ago this June. We brought him over for his 4th birthday, and he caught a fish like that.
Well, let's catch another one.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime fish.
Let's get after him.
Too hard.
There's another one. Uh-oh, he's going over into the other grass carp lines, too. I can't tell. I kind of horse him out with this thing, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm not quite used to it yet. So if I can get about the right amount of line out this time. Whoa, ah!
Put your hand out.
Hurt myself with him if I'm not
careful.
There you go.
You swallow it?
He took it down a little farther than... It's not swallowed, it's just hooked in the top of his mouth.
Right on the top of the mouth. Piece of cake.
Pretty good. He's not as big as yours, but I'm not an expert either. So.
There's some little ones out there too.
Paul, you were talking about the Master Angler and Trophy Fish Conservationist Awards a minute ago. I know you've got a few of those awards in the past.
It's 9.5 on a sunfish, a green, a red ear, or a bluegill.
9.5 inches to get the award. And those are given by the Wildlife Department for people that catch outstanding fish, and the Trophy Fish Conservation is for those who throw them back.
You have to put that fish back, which is what I generally try to do all the time. It's hard.
Well, that would defeat the problem.
What are you doing, Paul?
Well, now that the wind's changed directions, I'm trying to look for a different waggler.
A Wagner?
Waggler.
Waggler.
W-A-G-G-L-E-R. We've got less wind now.
Well, I think you ought to be able to find one in there.
We've got less wind now, so I was looking for one that would be a little bit more sensitive.
What is special about these kind of bobbers or wagglers, as you say it, compared to the kind that we use normally around here?
It's the way you rig them. so that they're neutral buoyant. You rig them with the weights. You put weights on until only the orange point is floating. All of the body is below the water, so the fish has nothing to pull on. Ultra sensitive.
So he's not going to feel it at all, probably, when he takes the bait.
That's what you want. You don't want him to think he's hooked.
I don't think he's that good, but he went in under. He's staying down.
It's okay. I'm bringing that one in anyway.
No, he's just another little old bluegill.
I think the big ones have moved out on us.
But the little ones are fun.
Well,
and it quit raining anyway.
The rain kept the big ones in here. The cloudy day kept them in here longer than they would have. We started a little late.
I just barely got him by the skin of the lip. Let me see some of that bait we're using here, Paul.
Get some out of the chum bag here. We're using blue bottle fly larvae today. They're very active, as you can see.
Well, they are. There's a lot of people that wouldn't hold those in their hand, you know, Paul.
Well, these are
maggots or larvae.
These aren't like you would think. These larvae here have less bacteria than an earthworm out of your backyard or the minnow that you're going to go fish with, because they're grown in a sterile environment.
I'll be darned.
They're grown on turkey meat, and you'll see some red ones and some yellow ones in here. They're normally white, and whatever color you dye that turkey meat, when they feed on it, that's the color of the larvae go. There's some green ones right there.
I'll be darned. That's something. They really are feisty.
You want to hook them on the end of the hook so that they keep wiggling like that.
Paul, when you're chumming like that, are you actually doing yourself a favor by drawing more fish in, or are you just putting more bait out there for the fish that are there so you'll be less likely to hook one?
We're trying to draw fish in and keep them there. We don't, in this particular type of fishing, it takes so long to set up. You got so much equipment. You want to get the fish there and you want to keep them there. You don't want to keep tearing down and moving up and down the bank. So we put it out there to keep them there. It doesn't really hurt you. It hurts you if you don't throw the bait where your float is.
Yeah, I can
But
see
as
that.
long as we keep on top of the same area, they're just sitting there real fast sucking everything up. And they'll suck up 20 of those in just a blink of an eye. You get 4 or 5 fish out there.
So then, what's your accurate range with some of these maggots? Obviously, if it's way out there, you're not going to be able to hit where you're aiming.
That depends a lot on the wind. We're pretty close in now, but if you need to get real out far, that's where the catapult comes in. It's just like your regular slingshot, but it's got a pouch on the end for the maggots. And we've used this for the white emer too to get the bread balls out. We'll get those pretty far out there. That'll shoot a bread ball 40 yards.
Got another one?
Yeah, got one on.
What's he feel like?
Feels like a bluegill, but you can't tell. He's a pretty good fish.
He's putting up a good fight, good little scrap.
Good fight. What do we got here? Looks like a big bluegill.
Yeah, he's a nice one though. Came right in between the little rain showers, right after a little rain shower.
Cool us off.
Didn't hurt him any,
Scrappy
did it?
little bluegill.
Yeah, he is. That's a nice one. It's a good sized little sunfish.
Bad little bluegill.
Look at him, the difference between him and that red ear.
Just barely got him
Considerable
right there.
size difference for one thing.
I'll get my finger on that little bitty hook and get it out. It's sitting right there. That's the thing about the little hooks, is trying to get them out. He's hooked right in that bone up there. There's 2 just broke. You're on your own on this one. The net's over by you, and
I have to look at him.
don't put him on this side of the keep net.
Yo, back over here. Oh,
Bass.
it's a bass.
It's a bass.
Little bass.
That's why
I'm a bass fisherman anyway.
That's why he hit it moving.
Whoa.
What is that, 9, 10? 10-inch bass?
Probably pretty
9.
close to that. He's a skinny little devil though. Look how skinny he is. He don't have any meat on him. Needs to eat more Wheaties or more maggots or something. Here comes a snake along here, maybe. I wonder if he'll eat a maggot. Personally, I don't want him to eat mine.
He's heading for the float.
Let's see what he does.
Well, don't hook him. You take him off. If you get him, you take him off.
How quick release him? I could almost reach out there and
Rapid
touch him.
release.
I'd whap him, but I have an office mate that'd be mad at me.
He won't harm you. That's just an old water snake. There's not as many cottonmouths in Oklahoma as people really think.
He scared up, that snake scared up a fish. Uh-oh,
You got him
scared
under
up
the
a
keep
fish
net
for
now.
me. There he comes out of there. Swing him. Oh, they're getting littler, but.
Well, if you get a big one, don't raise him up like that.
Okay, if I hook a bigger one, I'll start asking for directions.
Well, just use the net.
Okay.
That 4-pound test on there, they'll break it and nothing flat.
I think I'll pitch him.
Yeah, go ahead and put him back in.
I can see, Paul, we have some of our fishery crew out there working in the rain today.
What are they doing?
I don't know, but they ought to be in a warm building somewhere. There's no kind of weather to work in. Fishing's okay, but not to work in.
What do you say we pack it in? This is getting a little too wet for me.
Yeah, that sounds like a fine idea to me. I've been thinking about it for the last little while anyway. Go somewhere where it's warm and get a cup of coffee and wonder why we were out here anyway.
This is the way they fish in England, is in the rain. It rains over there all the time, and they're used to this.
It's starting to rain over here all the time too. We may have to get used to it ourselves.